When Bentley was small, we noticed that there were several different things that he was doing differently. When doctors and specialists continue to tell you what is wrong with your child, you are in such a dark place. The therapists at UCP are amazing. They brought inspiration, they brought hope. Bentley has a fantastic relationship with UCP, and if we can continue this together, Bentley will be unstoppable.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free, and the home
Curtis.
Yeah.
Welcome, race fans, to the Dominus TYJ Racing Den Fender Series, Trek Series, here on All Pro Broadcasting for the Trailer Trash Lot 420 240. Yes, that's a little bit confusing, but that's exactly what we got here. We got our good friend Russ Coe. He's got an incredible music group called the Trailer Trash Lot 420. You want to look for them everywhere you look for music, which would be iTunes, Walmart.com, every other source you look for music to find, you want to find and look for Trailer Trash Lot 420. Michael D'Amico is going to be playing a little bit of their music, going into commercial, coming back from commercial tonight. This is a great group, a great musician. He's got some incredible work. I tell you what, guys, I bought the whole album when I first found out that it was available to buy, and he was sponsoring races here. So thanks for Russ Coe sponsoring the Trailer Trash Lot 420, which is what you want to search when you go to iTunes and or Walmart.com for your music purchases. But this is the 240, which is actually going to be 60 laps here at Watkins Glen. Joining me in the booth is my very good friend, Curtis Young. How you doing tonight, Curtis?
Pretty good, Robert. It's second last points race, I should say, before the chase here, and yeah, things are getting interesting here in the Den and Fenders Truck Series. We had a change of points of the points leader, actually, so I guess we'll go over the top 10 in points right now, and well, we get that up there on the screen for you. Gerald Campbell is at the top of the board now. James Ross has missed the last 2 or 3 races, I believe, so that gave Gerald an opportunity to get back to the top of the board. Only by 3 points, though. James Ross still sitting in that second position. Gary Sexton right now sitting in third. Jack Watts sitting in fourth right now. Vernon Markheim rounds out the top 5. Tyler Chalk in the 07. He's sitting in sixth in the point standings right now. William Locklear 7th. Andrew Kessler 8th. Judd Danielson sitting in 9th right now, and just 2 points behind Judd. Rounding out the top 10 is the number 73 of Jeremy Crandall.
Thank you there, Curtis. This is a completely different track than we're used to racing on. This is not everybody turns left. This is a road course here at Watkins Glen. This is way up in the upstate of New York. And I tell you what, this is a very, very fast track. Doesn't matter what kind of vehicle or racing on this track. Tonight, we're bringing you something never done before with All Pro Broadcasting and Dominus TYJ Den and Fender Truck Series Racing. We are racing the trucks at Watkins Glen. You're not going to see that on TV, fans. You're going to see it here tonight. And yes, you are going to be in the running for the free large 3-topping pizza. I tell you what, Erica Estev got the free pizza last week. That's like her 3rd free pizza. Guys, I tell you what, women, I encourage you to watch the race, make your pick only one driver before lap. That would be lap 30, because this is a 60-lap race. Get your picks in. I tell you what, I would love for one of you people who have not won a pizza yet to win one. We love giving away to whoever we give them away to, whoever is the person who accurately predicts to win the race. But she has won 3 times so far. We've got a couple other people who won a couple 3 times. So fans, we encourage you, take your time, look at these practice qualifying laps. Pit strategy, Curtis, as you know, is going to be a huge thing here in the race tonight, because we do have 3 different stages. So you might want to wait till lap 28 to make your pick. I hate to say that, but that might be your best strategy to win that free pizza, because we're going to have strategy all over the board tonight, Curtis. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think you're gonna see some drivers pit before the end of the stages here. We'll have a caution at lap 15, caution at lap 30 to end the 2 stages, and I think you're gonna see quite a few guys pit before the end of the first one, and then maybe not the second one. I know my strategy last time was kind of just to try and run out the fuel cell and take as little fuel as possible and make that last pit stop a short one at the end. So we'll see. There's going to be a couple different strategies out there tonight for sure.
I tell you what, Curtis, right now it looks like Andrew Kessler was the fastest in practice. He had a 109.972. He has backed that up in qualifying with a 109.729. We're going to try to get a hold of him real quick before the race starts to get his thoughts on how this race might go. He's definitely the fastest on the track right now. We'll see what he has to say here. Give us just a second. Andrew Kessler, this is Robert and Curtis in the broadcast booth. I tell you what, you have laid down some seriously fast laps in practice and qualifying. Hope we're not interrupting you too much. We're taking just 15, 20 seconds. How does your truck feel, and what do you think your chances are of pulling off another win tonight in the Domino's TYJ Racing Den and Fender Series here on All Pro Broadcasting?
I'm hoping it happens, Robert. I really am. We've had I was off of work on Tuesday, so I sat basically most of the day on the computer with Dave, and he was showing me a lot of stuff with the shifting here, and I'll tell you what, it's helped a lot, and I can't thank him enough really for everything he's helped me with this week. And listen, I still got to put it together, and I got to run 60 clean laps, so we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Andy. Good luck. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody's gridding up here for the start. Curtis, if you'll take us through the starting lineup.
10-4 Robert, and we just talked to him. Starting on the pole, number 98 of Andrew Kessler, and to his outside is going to be the number 84 of Josh Tanner, trying to keep his name up there inside the top 20 for points. He does have a win, so out here trying to keep his points up and make his way into the chase. Starting third tonight is going to be Gary Sexton in the number 17 machine. 51 of James Ross going to roll off to his outside in fourth, and Jack Watts going to round out the top 5 in his number 66 Southeast Motorsports machine. Gerald Campbell going to start just outside the top 5 tonight in sixth. Ray Richard just behind him, sorry I should say, in his number 44. Mark Jackson to his outside starting 8th. Blake Griffith will start 9th tonight. Eric Stanford rounds out your top 10. 33 of Vernon Margheim, he's going to start from P11 tonight. David Wright to his outside in 12th. Starting 13th is familiar driver who's been out for quite a while, my good buddy Gary Weston. He had an incident a couple months back. He unfortunately broke his foot in a couple places, and obviously that means he can't sim race, so he was healing from that, and he said he's still feeling a little bit of the effects, but he qualified. He's out there good enough to race tonight. He told me if he felt good enough he was going to get out there and race. He put the practice laps in, so rolling off to his outside in 14th is going to be the 4 of William Locklear. The 07 of Tyler Chalk is starting 15th tonight. Sean Kalis to his outside in 16th. Judd Danielson will start 17th tonight with James Somke to his outside in 18th. Chad Payne starting 19th rounds out your drivers to take a qualifying time. And looks like we're going to have 5 drivers tag on at the end of the field here not taking a qualifying time. That would be the 15 of Jeff T. Martin in 20th, Richard Ambrose in 21st, Jeremy Crandall in 22nd, Ivan Garcia in 23rd, and Danny Rudy in the 037 machine tagging on at the end of the field in 24th. Getting through the carousel here, these guys are getting ready to get all doubled up. Green flag for the trailer trash lot 420 and 240 here. Going to be underway here in just under 30 seconds here. Lights are off on the Porsche pace car. We are at a road course, so not your classic iRacing.com Mustang pace car. It's the iRacing.com roof Porsche, whatever you want to call it, pace car. So getting set to pull off here in just a moment. Andrew Kessler going to lead him to the green flag. We'll see if he can get a good jump here on the field.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I tell you what, will you take this green flag start?
That pace car pulls off. Andrew Kessler gets a good jump on the field. headed down to turn number 1 there, and it looks like Gary Sexton actually was able to clear the number 84 of Josh Tanner for that second position before they even hit turn 1. So not the start that Josh Tanner wanted, wasn't quite ready. Kessler went pretty much as soon as the pace car went off, and he leads it by about 5 truck lengths headed down through the S's.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I just noticed we had one truck. It looks like Gary Weston, the 14. He got loose coming through the turn 1. He got it spun around. I don't think there's any major contact. He's rolling again back here in 13th position. He's probably going to drop to the back of the field. Good, Curtis.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for my buddy Gary there, but you know, it's his first race back in a couple months. He's probably a little bit nervous too, but good thing is we have a competition caution, stage end here at lap 15. Should be able to stay on the lead lap and get that lap back. Get back up there, I should say.
Yes, sir, Curtis. Thank you so much. Again, fans, you are watching the Dominus TYJ Racing Den and Fender Series. This is the Trailer Trash Lot 420 240 live on All Pro Broadcasting here at Watkins, Glen. Make sure, fans, you subscribe to the All Pro Broadcasting link if you're watching on your device. That way you get all the alerts and all the notifications for how to win that free pizza, which you can give the details for real quick. By the way, Trailer Trash Lot 420 is an incredible music group. I know it's an unusual name, fans, but I tell you what, if you want to hear some seriously good soul music, you got to at least check this out. You don't have to buy anything, just listen to it. Google it, find out. This is where you're going to find the Trailer Trash Lot 420. You can go to iHeartRadio, YouTube, Walmart.com, Amazon CD Baby, and many others. Just Google Trailer Trash Lot 420. And if you're like me, you're going to be amazed at the incredible soul and effort that is put into this music here by Russ Coe, one of the drivers. I'm not sure he's in the field tonight, Curtis, but he is the sponsor of the race. He is very fast here on these road courses. I think he's in the middle of moving locations from one house to another. He might not be in the field, but he is the sponsor, and he is a great guy. He's been with Dominus TYJ Racing for a couple of years now, and I cannot encourage you anymore to go and look up his music. You will love it. I bought the whole album when I found it. And what's happening up front here in the race, Curtis?
I'm not too sure. I just watched David Wright, the 42 machine, pass Eric Stanford for 10th position into the bus stop there, and David Wright always in that Triad Computer Works purple and green and orange and I guess light green or yellow you could call it. Really good looking truck. I always enjoy watching it out there, and yeah, just made a pass and make his way inside the top 10. Keep an eye on him, but up front it's still Andrew Kessler leading Josh Tanner by about 5 truck lengths, so it looks like Tanner did manage to get back around the 17 of Gary Sexton, and James Ross, they're sitting 3rd and 4th. They're already 5 seconds off the leader, so right now, early on, it looks to be a 2-horse race.
Yeah, I tell you what, right now, you're absolutely right, Curtis. These guys have put in a lot of laps of practice. Curtis, you're the reigning Dominus TYJ Den and Fender Truck Series champion, and you raced here at Watkins Glen last year at least one time. I think we had the bus stop not included here. We included it here for 2017, so these drivers are definitely having to drive this course just like a cup car. And so the drivers who are fastest, who put in the most laps, right now looks like Andrew Kessler. He was off work on Tuesday, put in, I don't know how many laps, 5, 10, 50, 500 laps maybe. And I tell you what, when you put in 500 laps, if that's what he did, that's exactly why he's leading this race right now.
And he looks to be stretching the gap on Josh Tanner too. 1 second the gap now between those two. It was 5/10 last time at the line, so Kessler pulling away as the tires begin to heat up here. It's we're only on lap 5, and doesn't take long for the tires to fall off a little bit here, but they don't really get as bad as what they do at oval courses, so to say. Like your tire wear is just not as significant here at the road courses. Definitely it's still pretty significant in these stock cars, stock trucks, but not as bad as you might find at an oval track where you're just putting all the weight on one side at all times.
Yes, sir, Curtis. It looks like Andrew Kessler is driving that famous number 98 Aegis Motorsports Toyota Tundra. He is leading the way right now. We'll take our quick run through the field. Behind him we have Josh Tanner in the number 84. Looks like the NP3 Designs Toyota Tundra. Number 84, he's running in second. Great run. In third place, we have Gary Sexton. He's in that Dirty Air Studios Toyota Tundra. Great run for Gary so far. Behind him, we have James Ross. Oh, we just had a truck get loose there in the coming off of the corner. But James Ross is in that M&M's Toyota Tundra. Number 51 running in fourth. James has got many wins in the series so far this year. He is definitely locked in the playoffs. He's trying to get one more win. But I think right now James is going to have to use strategy to get that one tonight, because he is not the fastest truck on the field right now. Behind him we have Jack Watts. Actually, Jack Watts is in the Southeast Motorsports Chevrolet Silverado number 66. He is running in sixth. Real quick, in seventh we have Ray Richer. He is in that beautiful Pro Auto Service Chevrolet Silverado. Great run for Ray. Here we go in fifth. I just missed him, Gerald Campbell. He is in that famous, as we all know, he sponsored the race last week, veteran of Foreign Wars Chevrolet Silverado. Beautiful eagle on the front of that truck. I tell you what, fans, you want to make sure you see this truck all the way around. This is a great driver, a great sponsor, and he always brings the paint that makes everybody remember. The reason we're able to do this here at Dominus TYG Racing All-Pro Broadcasting here in the United States of America is because of all of the veterans who have fought all the wars to keep our country, United States of America, free. And Gerald Campbell has that beautiful number 6 Chevy Silverado, Veterans of Foreign Wars truck, up to the 7th position actually right now. A couple of these guys are losing positions, like you just said, Curtis. David Wright in that 42 Triad Computer Works, beautiful blue and green Chevrolet Silverado is in 10th now. And back in 11th, we do have Eric Stanford in that Pepsi Toyota Tundra. What do you see in that front, Curtis?
Still all Andrew Kessler, but Josh Tanner has actually hacked away at that gap. 7/10 at the line that time, and it was 8/10 the time before that. So he's chipping away at it a little bit. Josh Tanner turning up the heat here. Got about 7 laps here before the end of the stage at lap 15.
Thank you, Curtis. I tell you what, right now, what I'm wondering is, these drivers, anybody can win this race. We've got one other driver. We'll get a quick highlight on him. This is Richard Brose in the number 87 Chevrolet Silverado. He's back here in 23rd position. Richard Brose, my bad. He started in 21st. He has gained 2 spots. Some of these drivers here in the back, Curtis, I'm wondering, are they taking care of their equipment? Are they going to maybe, when the first caution comes out into lap 15, because we all know these trucks can go more than 15 laps on a tank of fuel, is Richard Brose and these other guys in the back, are they just taking care of their tires and just taking it easy so that they don't even make a pit stop? He is the owner of Richie B's Pizza. I tell you what, I would love to have my mouth around a piece of his pizza right now. Unfortunately, where I live, there's not one real close to me, but I've heard it's some of the greatest pizza in town, wherever you live. So make sure tonight, tomorrow, pick up the phone right now. Call Richard B's Pizza, get you some pizza, because we got a long race tonight, and I'm actually going to maybe drive 15, 30, 45 miles to find my closest Richard B Pizza, because I'm all about Domino's TYJ Racing, all about Domino's Pizza, but I would love to taste some of his pizza. I heard it's really good. It's a one owner, old school pizza place, and those places usually have the best pizza in town. But he's running back here, Curtis. What do you think about these guys in the back? Maybe saving their stuff and not even pitting when lap 15 gets here.
I don't think that's really possible, because then they're going to have to make a pit stop under green before the end of the second stage, and they really want to do that because that might put themselves even into having to make another pit stop after that. I'm not sure exactly what the fuel load here is, how the math would work out. I think that might actually work, Robert, so that is an interesting strategy that I never even really thought of.
Thank you, Curtis. Looks like 25 to 30 laps is what these guys can do.
Yeah, 30 sounds like a little bit more than what you can do, but you never know. I think the Xfinity car and the Cup car you could do about 24, 23-ish last time we raced them, so yeah, I think the trucks will get around that, and yeah, I'd be really surprised if they got 30, but leader Andrew Kessler lapping the number 87 of Richard Brose. I'm not sure if he did just come in for tires or not.
Yeah, I think Richard Brose, he's just in the back of the pack, and I think he's actually working that strategy I talked about. You never know here, but I do want to do a quick Domino's driver profile. We have not done that in a week or so on a good driver, Sean Kalis. I tell you what, Curtis, Michael, and all the fans, this is somebody you want to keep your eye out for. He absolutely brings the greatest looking trucks and cars to every race we have. Tonight he's in that marathon number 45 Toyota Tundra. Sean Kalis is from Brighton, Illinois. His team is SBT. He's been in sim racing for, it looks like, 10 years. He has got a K&N National Series win. He's also got a B-Class Open win at Talladega. He wants to give special thanks to his family, wife, Barbara, his son Troy, Tanner Tallarico Signs and Designs. That's where this paint comes from. I encourage all you guys, all you ladies watching tonight, if you're any part of iRacing, you look up Tanner Tallarico Signs and Designs for your next paint job. We got a lot of great guys that make paints here for Domino's TYJ Racing. This is just one of them. He would also like to thank his friends at Laid Back Outlaw Racing Group, and he wants to thank David Washington for all the help he's given him. And Sean Kalis is one of our newer drivers, and he is getting faster every single race, Curtis.
And scary moment for the leader there, Andrew Kessler. He almost got into the back of, I think it was Chad Payne or Ivan Garcia. I'm not too sure which one, but Garcia and Payne were battling for position. And back there in 20th and 21st, and yeah, unfortunately they just the leaders caught them at the wrong time, and Kessler had to jam on the brakes. Good thing Josh Tanner gave him a little bit of room, but brought the gap down to 0.4 of a second last time at the line. We'll see what it is this time. He's basically a truck length or two off, so I imagine it's only going to be 1 or 2 tenths here at the line. And Josh Tanner looking to the inside, down into turn number 1. See what happens here. It looks like Kessler's going to have to give him the lane here, and can Tanner gets loose on the bottom there, and Kessler gets the run off the top. Through the S's they go, and yeah, Kessler maintains the lead on that one. Josh Tanner reeled him in, tries to make the pass and gets a little bit loose, so he's going to have to reel him back in again. It looks like he's lost him by about 7 to 8 truck lengths now. And stage end is coming at lap 15. I'm not, Robert, is it at when they cross onto lap 15, or is it when they complete lap 15?
Yes, when the leader crosses the line for 15.
Crossing on to 15?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So Andrew Kessler gonna do one more circuit here. He's coming on to lap 114, so one lap to go for Andrew Kessler before the stage end.
Yes, sir. We got about 2 more laps here for the leader to get to lap 15, which will be the mandatory caution. We got a couple of guys that are choosing to pit early, and that's absolutely possible here. As we're waiting for these guys to pit, we want to give you all the details, fans. Real quick, you haven't done it yet, for the free Domino's pizza giveaway. Real simple, fans. Thank you so much for watching. The first fan who can accurately predict the winner of this race before lap 30, that fan will win a free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. There's 2 ways you can communicate your pick to us. You can text the phone number flashing on your screen, 919-883-7497. If you're watching in the live chat, you can also say, I choose this driver. We can watch both of these sources. And like I said, the first fan to pick the winner accurately, do not pick 2, do not pick 3, do not pick 4. Do not wait, pick one now, pick one on lap 29. Before lap 30, make your one pick. And the fan who is the most accurate at picking that driver before lap 30 will win a large 3-topping Domino's pizza. Carry out only. We do not bring these to you in our trucks. And good luck. Curtis, looks like the battle up front is heating up right now as we got Andrew Kessler.
Yeah, Andrew Kessler still holding the lead right now and coming to the close of lap 15 here, so stage is going to end as soon as Kessler crosses the line here for this next lap. We'll see if he can put Vernon Margheim the lap down before he does that. Don't think he's going to quite be able to get there. So Andrew Kessler rounds out of turn number 8. Caution flag going to wave at the start finish line. And yeah, caution is out here. It's like Ray Richard just gets out of the pits in front of the number 98. Not sure if he'll lose a lap there. I don't think he will. These guys are going to have to go around once more to catch the pace truck, or the pace car, sorry. But the battle was heating up for the lead there between Josh Tanner and Andrew Kessler. It was really close, but the next truck behind them, I think Gary Sexton was the next truck back, and I think he was almost 14 seconds back. It might not have been that big. I think it was though, and that's just looks like a 2-horse race right now. These guys, some of these other guys are gonna have to figure something out real quick if they want a shot at this one.
Yes, sir, Curtis. As these guys are catching up to the pace truck, we are going to take our first of 2 only commercial breaks. Again, fans, thank you so much for watching. We'll give you more details on how to win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza as soon as we come back from this first commercial break. You're watching the Domino's TYJ Racing Den Defender Truck Series Trailer Traps 420 240. Lot 420 240. Live on Pro Broadcasting. Fans, we'll be right back.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-ServPro and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac, and never feel powerless.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Den Fenders Trailer Trash Lot 420-240 live on All-Pro Broadcasting. Thank you so much, fans, for being here. Always in the booth here on Wednesday nights is Curtis Young, my good friend, the reigning champion of the 2016 Den Fender Truck Series. Curtis, how you doing tonight? And what are you looking for as we just finished our first stage?
Well, I'm looking at some new drivers up front here that definitely pitted before the end of the stage. I believe that, I'm not sure if David Wright did. We'll see this time by. It looks like he's staying out, so David Wright is going to lead these guys to the line unless he's getting a wave around, which he scored on the lead lap before, so I think Gary Sexton is going to
Yes, sir, right now.
scoring here. Yeah, it's still scoring Gary Sexton in the lead. David Wright's getting the wave around, so Gary Sexton is going to have the lead when this race restarts. Blake Griffith is going to be second, Jack Watts third, Gerald Campbell fourth, Mark Jackson fifth. There's I'm not sure if something happened with the 98. He's where's Kessler scored right now? Looks like he's scored a ninth, so I'm not sure if those 8 guys, they all pitted before the end of the stage, and that's just where Kessler and Tanner end up in 9th and 10th or what, but that's pretty far back for those guys to make it back up there.
Yes, sir, Curtis. This stage racing here, Curtis, live on All-Pro Broadcasting, this is making everything a lot more interesting than what people are used to here on iRacing. This is more or less exactly what NASCAR is doing. For the big exception, they never, ever race the trucks here at Watkins Glen. So yes, fans, not only do you get a chance to win a free large pizza, you get a chance to see something you're never going to see on real TV. The Camping World Series trucks at Watkins Glen. here at Dominus GYG Racing on Upward Broadcasting. You got the best of the talent right here. You got guys in 20th position with a fuel pit stop strategy. They may end up winning the race, Curtis. I tell you what, this is going to be exciting here. These guys know on lap 30 the second stage will end, and they got to go 30 more laps after that, maybe 28 with caution flags. So I can't even tell you if the leader right now is going to win this race, Curtis. What do you think?
It's definitely going to be interesting. Like I said, the two guys that were dominant so far tonight, they're back in 9th and 10th after that pit stop, and pace car getting ready to pull off here. Gary Sexton leads him back to the green flag. He gets a pretty decent jump on second place Blake Griffith, and it's about a truck length gap, and headed down into turn number 1, and Jack Watts gets down to the inside of the number 2 machine before they hit turn number 1 there, but Griffith able to get the run off on the outside, and Sexton still leading this one by about 3 truck lengths.
Yes, sir.
See what the 98 and the 84 are doing. Looks like Kessler trying to get a run on the outside of the number 44 of Ray Richer. They're going to be side by side headed into the bus stop. Is somebody going to give? Looks like Ray Richer drives it in real deep, uses up a bit of the 33's fender, and oh, Kessler! Andrew Kessler goes around.
Yes, man.
If we can get a replay up on what happened with the 98, I think I saw his truck hop up way more than it should have off of the curbing there on the bus stop, and then he just got tagged.
We'll try to get that replay pulled up real quick here. Perfect. Definitely looks like there was a little bit of contact. Kurtz, what did you see?
Yeah, I just saw Kessler was trying to make the pass on the outside of the 44, Ray Richer. Ray Richer drove it in really deep, got around the 33 of Markheim. Kessler was just kind of doing his own thing, and he hit the curbing of the apron, and it just shot his truck up about, the left side's up about 3 feet in the air. Made him wiggle a little bit and get loose. 84 Josh Tanner and Locklear were side by side behind him, had nowhere to go, and that just sent Kessler into the tire barriers.
Yes, that's exactly what I saw. So what are you seeing from strategy so far?
Oh, and it looks like Kessler gets into another incident. Looks like he got into the back of the number 9 of Chad Payne, got a little bit loose. And there's actually a wreck in front of them too with the 45 and the 73, so lots of incidents out here that we're not catching. It looks like the 73 truck just got loose and then got tagged by the 45, and Kessler didn't really have anything to do with those guys, but man, good race coming to a terrible end for the 98 of Andrew Kessler. I shouldn't say end, but his truck is hurt now, I think, and I'm just not sure if he's going to be fast enough to maintain the lead, if he can even get it back, but I just don't know if that's even possible anymore.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I'm going to take a couple of minutes here and look at that replay.
10-4, and still up front is the number 17 of Gary Sexton. Blake Griffith was 9/10 of a second back at the line last time. See what the gap is this time by as Sexton heads into turn number 7, into turn number 8, and it's only 7 laps left, crossing on to lap 23, so 7 or 8 laps left before the next stage closes. We'll see what a lot of these guys do if they want to pit before the end of this stage. We only would have had about a 12 lap run before this next stage caution does fly, so see if Sexton can hold on to it until the stage caution flies. Looks like Blake Griffith has brought that gap down to about 5/10 of a second. Looks like that's about 5 truck lengths, so that sounds about right. We'll see what he can do into the bus stop.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I tell you what, looks like the 73 Jimmy Crandall just got loose coming out of that first turn. That can happen to any of us drivers. I tell you what, coming out of that corner, it's easy to get loose in the trucks, Xfinity car, or the Cup car, and sometimes that happens.
Blake Griffith does have a mirror full of Jack Watts right now, though, in the 66. He's trying to work on him for third position right now, and Gerald Campbell, he gets a little bit wiggly there, but he's made his way back up to fourth. Didn't see him get loose earlier on, and from the fifth position, and I think he fell back to about seventh, so he's made his way back up to the fourth position. Keep an eye on Gerald, is leading the points right now. See if he's able to make his way back up there. Sorry, had a yawn towards the front there, but yeah, just Gerald's always a solid driver and always runs inside the top 5 or 10, and he had a little bit of an incident, brought his way outside the top 5, but a little bit of strategy call, got himself back up into the fourth position and trying to track down Jack Watts. Solid run behind them too for the number 44 of Ray Richard, sitting in fifth position right now. So I know Ray is pretty darn good at these road courses when we come to them. Always seems to run inside the top 5 or 10, and he's another guy to watch tonight. Something happens to some of these guys that are absolutely lights out a little bit faster than him. He's one of those guys who definitely contend for a top 3 or even a win tonight.
I tell you what, Curtis, these road courses, they mix it up. You might be the fastest driver in Diamond CRJ Racing on the ovals. You come here to the road course at Watkins Glen, we got 3 stages. You got all kinds of strategy going on. Who wins this race is yet to be determined.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Josh Tanner, actually. Josh Tanner scored in the 7th position right now. He must have had some sort of incident, or sorry, not Josh Tanner, but Blake Griffith, rather, in the 2 machine. He scored in 10th position. Jack Watts now in 2nd.
Yeah, it sounds like the number 2, excuse me, Blake Griffith, he is doing fuel strategy here. So Curtis, you're confused, I'm confused, all the fans are confused. But I'll tell you what, fans, you got about 5 laps left, maybe 3, to get your pick in for the free pizza giveaway. The first fan who can accurately predict and win this race before lap 30 will win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. And good luck. This kind of race with the stages, anybody can win this race, so get your pick in. We hear the leader is going to be pretty here in a minute. Only pick one driver, but I tell you what, it's going to be super exciting to see who's got the greatest strategy to win the race. And I tell you what, Curtis and fans, Michael Domingo, these are the kind of races I love to watch because I have no idea who I'm going to be seeing that free, large, hot piping. Imagine this: garlic crust, tomato sauce, hot melting cheese, you name it. Pepperoni, sausage, bacon, ham, pineapple, bacon.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Looks like the 17's coming down pit road right now, the leader.
And Gary Sexton bringing it down pit lane here on the conclusion of lap 26. That's going to hand the lead over to the 66 of Jack Watts. And Gerald Campbell 0.3 of a second back from the leader of Jack Watts. So it's going to be a battle for the lead here in a second if Gerald Campbell can kick it up a notch, or if Jack Watts makes any sort of mistake. And Jack Watts and Gerald Campbell could be getting ready to make a pit stop at any moment here as well, so keep an eye on those two. Ray Richard, he's made his way up into the top 3 with Gary Sexton pitting handing the lead over. I think another driver must have had a problem or pitted because Ray Richards gained 2 spots rather than just the one, and I'm not exactly sure who lost that position. Eric Stanford has actually made his way up inside the top 5.
Breaking news real quick, Kurt. Sorry to interrupt you, but Mark Jackson, he was running in 4th position at number 3. Beautiful over-the-top paint, Southeast Motorsports truck. Got loose at the bus stop, hit the outside wall, excuse me. I'm just looking around to see if he can get it turned around. He is going to get turned around, but that is going to ruin his chance, I think, of a win here. And speaking of Ray Richard, one more quick dominant driver profile before we get lap 30. Ray Richard and Curtis cut me off when we get lap 30. He is from Mohawk, New York. His race team is Richard Racing. His sponsors are Pro Auto Service all over the hood of that truck. He also has sponsors of AMSOIL, Phantom Racing Chassis. He's got 12 years of real world racing. Real quick, he's won many heat races. He's built many race teams. He's done a lot of sponsoring. He wants to give thanks to All Pro Broadcasting. And also, he wants to give thanks to Mike Smith from Pro Auto Service for all the support.
It looks like Jack Watts actually gets around Gerald Campbell for the lead. Jack Watts had the lead before. Not sure what I'm talking about, but Campbell has brought the gap down to just under 0.3 of a second at the line that time by. Almost gives him the bumper into turn number 1. Gets a little bit loose, has to cut over. Just missed the grass. That's going to lose him a couple truck lengths. But about another 1.5 laps here until we're going to have our second stage caution here. These guys will get a chance to go down pit lane, get their new set of tires and fill up with fuel, and I think they're still going to have to make one more green flag pit stop in the last stage, Robert.
Yeah, quick question, Curtis. Gary Sexton pitted 2 laps ago. Are you saying there's no way he's going to be able to make it to the end? And I just heard the 44 of Ray Richard is going to be pitting coming to lap 30.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Gary Sexton can make it from where he pitted. I think he pitted on lap 26. Jack Watts pitting from the lead. Hands the lead over to Gerald Campbell, and so Gerald Campbell going to reverse his strategy from last time. I do believe he pitted before the end of the last stage. Caution is thrown. See if these guys that are getting service can beat the pace car out or not. So we'll see what happens here when everything cycles back through. Drivers are getting ready to catch the pace car.
Yes, sir, Curtis.
About one more lap and it'll come out just because of where the caution flag flew. The leader was just passing the pace car, so you do have to do another slow lap to catch him. But I think there was some confusion with some of these drivers on when the caution was coming out, because we saw Jack Watts pit and then the caution come out immediately, so I don't think that's exactly what Jack Watts wanted. He might get trapped a lap down here. I don't think he will, but it kind of throws things off for some of the guys from what they thought was happening. So I mean, should be interesting to see if anybody can make it to the end on fuel, though. By the time we get back green, there's going to be about 27 or 26 laps to go, and yeah, if you save fuel, that might be doable. So it's gonna be interesting here, Robert.
Yes, sir, Curtis. We're going to take our final timeout for our last commercial break. Fans, when you come right back, you're going to find out who's going to win this Trailer Trash Lot 42240 here at Watkins Glen on All Pro Broadcasting. And you're also going to find out if you are the lucky winner of the free pizza. Fans, we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Was more than impressive, I have to say. I mean, the track is identical to the real track. I was blown away how realistic it is. Every little bump, every little spray paint, everything is exactly like you were there at the track. It was a great experience. This is a warm-up lap now. Tires to get warmed up. The engine. Breathe a little bit here when you go through that little bump there. And then it's flat pretty much all the way through here, just about. On braking, this is the slowest part of the track. And then I've done, I did many races in Formula 3, Formula 2, and then I did the very last race they did there in Group C in 1983 in the 956 Porsche. That's when Beloff got the lap record at the 6:11. I think I was second on the grid with the 6:14 or something. Which was, I mean, those cars were awesome around there, of course, like any car is, that speed. And this is the corner of all corners here, the Schwedenkreuz. Flat all the way into it. And then trail brake all the way into the apex here. And then hard at it again, get good speed down the hill here. Mega fast down this hill here. Just jump from one apex to the next. Gotta be super precise here. I mean, it's almost exactly like the real thing. So, I mean, it is certainly realistic enough to get past the very, a lot of the initial hurdles you have when you try to learn to drive a race car, So, I mean, I think it's an excellent tool to learn how to race for sure, or learn to drive a car on a racetrack.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Den Defender Series Truck Series live on All Pro Broadcasting here at Watkins, Glen. You're in tune and in time for the restart here. Curtis, let us know what's going on here on the restart.
Gerald Campbell leads with the green flag, and it looks like Josh Tanner has trouble on the restart again. Kessler almost... Oh, and Andrew Kessler into the back of the 33 of Vernon Margheim, and they both have major contact into the wall, and it looks like the 17 of Gary Sexton gets involved in that too.
Yes, sir, that was definitely a big hiccup on the start.
Wow, that shakes things up quite a bit. That Josh Tanner and Andrew Kessler made their way back up there, but Kessler's got a lot of work to do now, and he's gonna have to track down Gerald Campbell, Vernon Margheim, Josh Tanner, Andrew Kessler, Gary Sexton, Locklear, and yeah, that was just a big mistake. And see where he scored at the start-finish line this time. I believe the next truck in front of him. Looks like he actually didn't lose too much time. He's still behind the third place driver of, he's actually going to still be in third place this time at the line. I'm shocked. Andrew Kessler bringing that Derby truck to the front. Looks like it's been through at least a run or two of Demolition Derby, not the night Andrew Kessler was planning on, but looks like he's still got a fast enough truck to compete. See what happens on the long run. Gerald Campbell, he's trying to hold off the 84 of Josh Tanner right now as they head to the bus stop. Josh Tanner looking for win number 3 on the year, I do believe, and Andrew Kessler into the back of the 84. He goes around again. Oh, and he gets hit by Ray Richer. Eric Stanford gets involved, and so does the 85 of Judd Danielson. Big wreck out of the bus stop. Jeff T. Martin, Judd Danielson parked. James Somke involved, Ray Richer. And Andrew Kessler pulled it back out onto the track when he probably shouldn't have there, and just collects a bunch of people.
Yes, sir, Curtis. Thank you for continuing to review the race. Who's up front? Who's looking to win this race so far?
Well, that's going to change things up quite a bit. I mean, Kessler's right there on the back bumper. Just had to bide his time a little bit. And I don't know, just unfortunate for him. And that's going to open things up for Josh Tanner, though. He managed to get around the number 6 of Gerald Campbell. 5/10 at the line was the gap last time by, and we'll see what it is this time by. But the next truck behind them is Vernon Margheim. He's 4.3 seconds back. So again, it looks to be a 2-horse race. We'll see if Gerald Campbell can actually keep pace with the 84 Josh Tanner on the long run here. And Blake Griffith currently riding in the 4th position. He's 5.1 seconds back. David Wright is 6.3 seconds back, rounding out your top 5. Gary Sexton, he's 7.7. We'll see what it is this time by, if he's able to bring that gap down at all. 9.1, so Gary Sexton made a few passes that last lap, but he lost 2 seconds because of it. And Gerald Campbell actually falls back to 2.1 seconds, so I'm not sure if he had an issue there, but Josh Tanner is checking out here in the iRacer Digest Toyota Tundra number 84 machine.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I tell you what, we've had a little bit of what you call Domino's TYJ Racing dented fenders. Fenders that are dented in this race so far tonight. These guys are racing hard, they're racing fast, and they're trying to get every position. It looks like they are kind of single file now. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to find a battle on the racetrack for position, but I can't seem to find one. Everybody's single filed out. Closest battle seems to be the between the 07 machine of Tyler Chalk and the 66 of Jack Watts. Jack Watts seems to get a little bit of a run there coming off of turn number 8. He's about 3 truck lengths back. Will he drive it in deep? It looks like he does just the opposite of that compared to Tyler Chalk. Trying to get the run off. Looks like Tyler Chalk drives it up a bit higher than Jack does. Coming off of the corner there. And Tyler Chalk coming up on David Wright in the 5th position. So we'll see I think he's going to look to the inside, headed into the bus stop. It's the battle for the 5th position. Tyler Chalk easily makes the pass. Looks like he overdrove it a little bit, cuts the grass, but keeps it straight. And will Jack Watts be able to get around the 42 machine? Up front, still Josh Tanner stretched the gap to 3.4 seconds this time at the line. Blake Griffith is 8.3 back, so Josh Tanner absolutely running away with this one. These guys are inside the pit window though, so you could see some of these guys pit anytime, gain quite a bit of track time with those newer tires, and things could cycle out a little bit different.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I'm looking right now at the Gerald Campbell machine. He is in that veteran of Foreign Wars machine. He's running second, 4 seconds back. The strategy is about to start. Fans, make sure you watch. It is past the lap time to get your pizza pick in. But the excitement and the strategy and who's actually going to win this race is just starting.
It looks like Jack Watts does make the pass on Tyler Chalk there for the 5th position. They both made it around David Wright, so Jack Watts makes his way up into the top 5, sets his sights on the number 4, or on the number 17 of Gary Sexton rather, sitting in the 4th position, but he's 5 seconds back from the number 17, so it's got quite a bit of work to do. Gary Sexton is working on Blake Griffith in the 2 machine. He's about 1.3 seconds back from him at the moment. And Sexton had to check up a lot on that last restart and got involved a little bit in that scuffle into turn number 1. So he should be able to, he might be able to make his way back around Blake Griffith. His hot lap time in qualifying was 1 second faster, so if he can't make up 1 second over this next 20 laps on the number 20 of Blake Griffith, then there's something wrong with that number 17's truck. And wouldn't be surprising looking at it. He's got a little bit of rear end damage, I do believe, and other than that it looks to be not too bad, and I just don't think he's going to be able to be within reach of the win now, and that's unfortunate. Just the way you pitted from the lead before the last caution and was sitting in a good spot still, and just got involved in that, had to check up, and anything can happen though. He's 11.5 seconds back. If he pits soon, he might be able to, I know that's not really the strategy he was banking on, I don't think, but might be forced into that, and that might be his only shot at the win here. He does move his way up into the 3rd position. I think Gerald Campbell might actually have brought his truck down pit lane. Yep, the number 6 of Gerald Campbell, no scars, no stories. Chevrolet Silverado, right or left sides are up rather. Left sides go up first here at these road courses. I forgot, or at this road course anyway, just because of where the pit wall is. Left sides are up. Race fuel is in for the rest of the race. Windshield tear off comes off. Gerald Campbell is up and away. See if he gets a clean re-entry to the track here. And will that pull some of these other drivers that were running up front down pit lane?
I tell you what, Curtis, like I was just saying, fans, this is where the pit strategy starts. So Gerald Campbell elects to pit with it looks like 29 laps to go, or 19 laps.
19 there, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, my math is not that great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Curtis. So he's got 18 laps basically, and he's got the fresh tires on the track if you're a driver, Curtis, are you going to pit now? Or are you going to pit with like 12 laps to go to get the fresh tires for the end of the run?
Well, like I said at the top of the show, my strategy the first race was to pit before the first caution, get that track position, run it out to the stage caution at lap 30, pit under green to have as much fuel as possible so I can run until about 3 to 4 laps to go, and then I'm going to pit for a splash of fuel, no tires, no windshield tear off, minimize my time on pit lane. It'll only be about a 1 to 2 second pit stop versus Gerald Campbell, who just came in for a full-on pit stop, which is about 12 or 13 seconds. So that right there can make up all the time that you are going to make up with those new tires, and it could really just come down to the wire if there's somebody on that strategy that I just mentioned.
Yes, sir, Curtis. Right now, we do have a change for the, looks like the second position. Blake Griffin, and that the line number 2, Chevy Silverado. Oh, he's coming in pit road. He's trying to. Oh, he got loose. He just got passed by the Southeast Motorsports Tyler Chalk, number 07. And it looks like the Blake Griffin truck of the number 2 got back around him. Great racing here at the front of the field. These guys, it looks like right now, are going to keep racing on these old tires. One guy will get a run. Tyler Chalk is looking like he's going to try to catch him up to here in the S's. Last time I saw earlier when you were talking, Curtis, Tyler made the great move coming out of the carousel. It's going to be really exciting to see if Tyler Chalk, dominating the track, Southeast Motorsport, Southeast Toyota 07, can get around the number 2 of Blake Griffith. This is a great battle right here for the second, actually third and fourth position.
Looks like Mark Jackson just coming off of pit lane, so scored a lap down right now. I'm sure that'll cycle back through. He'll get back on the lead lap. Mark Jackson gets his service done for the rest of the race.
Yes, sir, Curtis. And real quick, we're going to our final Domino's CYJ Racing driver profile on the number 3 Chevy of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is from Wichita, Kansas. His team is Over the Top Paints. His sponsors are Over the Top Paints, Pad People Against Distracted Driving. He's got 17 years in sim. He's got many local street class bracket racing races. He's got 40 wins, a lot more than that now, and over 200 top 5s in iRacing. I want to give special thanks to John Hendrick, who puts these beautiful paint jobs on these trucks and cars. He also wants to give special thanks to his beautiful, very, very devoted wife, Kristen Phillips. He also wants to thank Southeast Motorsports.
And Josh Tanner brings it down pit lane from the lead. Still going to lead this lap, though, I think, just because of how far behind the number 17 of Gary Sexton is. See what Sexton is doing. Sexton crosses the line right now, so not going to lead that lap, unfortunately, for the number 17 of Gary Sexton, but going to be back in the lead next time by if he elects not to pit. And the next truck behind him even is Blake Griffith in the number 2. He's 11 seconds behind Gary, so that's just Sexton might even be able to hold on and lead that lap as well, if even if he does pit.
Yes, Curtis, I'm noticing the Josh Tanner, number 84, came down pit road. He got 4 Goodyear Eagles, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. He still has some right front damage right above the right front wheel on that Toyota Tundra. MP3 designs, but he is still racing hard. He might be able to pull off the win here with that great pit strategy.
And yeah, I really think the only drivers with a chance at this one is Gary Sexton, other than Josh Tanner, obviously, when this cycles back through, is going to be Gary Sexton, Blake Griffith, or Tyler Chalk. They were within striking distance. Everybody else is 30 seconds back at Gary Sexton right now. 20 seconds back. It's James Ross, William Locklear. They're 20 seconds back, so it's going to be hard for them to make that up. And so yeah, I think right now the race is going to go to, and Josh Tanner is still scoring. He goes 3 wide around Kessler and Chad Payne, headed down into the bus stop, but Josh Tanner is still scored in 4th place, only 15 seconds back of Gary Sexton. So I just don't think it's going to be enough for the number 17 machine on this one. And he gets a little bit loose coming out of turn number 8. The number 17 of Gary Sexton did last time out of turn number 8 there, but crosses over onto lap 47. We'll see where Gary runs the fuel tank out to. I think his strategy now is going to be run it out and just pit for a splash. He knows that a full pit stop is really going to slow him down.
That's exactly where the pit strategy comes into play here, Curtis, and fans. This will be very interesting to see who will come down for a splash, maybe 2 tires, to see who can pull off the quickest pit stop. And Curtis, nobody here on the lead lap can make it.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one, Robert. 30 laps is just, or even 27, whatever we had at the rest when we went back green. It's a lot to ask out of a 3/4 full tank of Sunoco race fuel, and just not going to happen for these guys. I don't think it'll be a miracle if it does. I mean, I know I won one last year when nobody really thought that it was possible to go that far, and actually I think a few other guys did make that strategy call. They just weren't quite as quick, but I mean, it's just a real gamble. You had to pretty much practice all week and make sure that you were going to have it down pat, know when to save the fuel and where, so that it wasn't slowing you down too much. But because in the end, if you can, Josh Tanner pitted when he was 15 seconds ahead of Gary Sexton, came out 15 seconds behind him, so in all reality he really only lost 30 seconds to Gary Sexton on that pit stop, and that's a quick pit stop for the 84 Josh Tanner. And yeah, like I said, it's just not going to be enough for Tyler Chalk or Gary Sexton. Josh Tanner's actually getting ready to pass the 07 of Tyler Chalk as we speak. Should be able to track him down here, not quite into the bus stop, or into turn number 7. Josh Tanner backs it off, plays it safe. Can he get the run? Headed into turn number 8. Josh Tanner Josh Tanner goes hard into the wall. This changes everything.
Wow, that is definitely going to change things right now. And Gary Sexton has got like a 12-second lead. Is this going to allow Gary Sexton to milk this fuel tank and try to make it to the end with just a splash and get the win?
That's really going to hurt Josh Tanner's chances. I'm going to say that's going to almost kill them. 22 seconds back for the 84 Josh Tanner. That puts James Ross into the 3rd position. I don't think James has pitted yet either.
I tell you what, these guys who have not pitted yet, they're pulling or trying to pull the Rapids foot out to win this race. And unfortunately, like just happened to Josh Tanner and that beautiful number 84, you push it a little bit too hard in that NP3 Designs Toyota Tundra 84, you lose it, you hit the wall, and there's no way in the world Josh Tanner, although he got it spun around real quick, there's no way he's going to win this race unless something unbelievable happens.
Yeah, I'm going to see how far back he's scored this time at the line. I think it's going to be over 30 seconds. It was he might have been back up to speed actually by the time he got back to the line, but his truck is going to be damaged. But the 3 trucks in front of him do have to pit, and he actually brought the gap down again from what it was. He brought it down from 22.2 to 21.5 seconds is the gap from Gary Sexton. So Josh Tanner might actually still be able to get the lead back when these guys have to pit.
I tell you what, it's going to be very interesting to see here. These leaders, they got their own strategy. I wish we knew what they were thinking. I wish we knew what their strategy was. But right now, with 3 of them, like you just said, we've got the beautiful Gary Sexton truck, number 17. He is in command of this race right now. It is basically the Dirty Air Studios Toyota Tundra race to lose. Whether he comes down pit road, how long he stays on pit road, that's going to be very interesting. Right behind him, we have the Tyler Chalk, who's coming down pit road now, the Southeast Motorsports Toyota Tundra. Looks like Tyler Chalk is going to come down. We're going to follow him as he comes down pit road at a grueling 45 miles an hour, 44. You do not want to get a speeding penalty at this point of the race, Curtis. You know this very well. Everybody knows this. That will ruin your chances of the win. He's coming in pit road. Looks like no tires going on the truck. He got like 3 seconds of fuel. Tyler Chalk is off. Will that be the winning move, Curtis?
I think he was a little bit too far off of the number 17 machine to be able to pull this one off, but I think the question is if Josh Tanner is going to be able to get back by Gary Sexton when Sexton brings his truck down pit lane. It's going to be real close, I think.
And you can never forget James Ross in that number 51. I tell you what, James has brought a brand new paint job here tonight. He's got the M&M's number 51. Very, very famous paint scheme here on his truck. What is he going to do? When is he going to make a pit stop? He's got damage on the front right, the left rear. James Ross is going to push this probably to the end of the envelope and get a splash of fuel if he needs that. I tell you what, fans, and Curtis, Michael, this is really going to be a great show to see who wins this race. And like it always comes down to on these road courses, fuel mileage will be king.
Yeah, and I think it's really possible for Josh Tanner to be able to get back up to the lead here, because you got to remember, Gary Sexton, the only reason he was really so far back to begin with was because he had to check up and he got involved in that wreck at the beginning at the green flag of the last stage beginning. As he comes down pit lane, Gary Sexton bringing it down pit lane. So now is the time. We'll see if James Ross and Josh Tanner catch him.
Yes, sir. On lap 52, we got 7 laps to go after this pit stop. Gary Sexton, that beautiful Dirty Air Studios Toyota Tundra number 17, is coming down pit road. He's going to pull in his pit stop perfectly, hopefully with no mistakes. We have no tires here on the 17. He's going to get 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5, 4 seconds of fuel. He is off. So will that be the winning move?
Well, Josh Tanner got around him, so I think, and he actually got around him by quite a bit. So I don't think Gary Sexton is going to be able to grab this one. It's still going to be Josh Tanner's race to lose unless James Ross can stay out here, out on the track.
I tell you what, Curtis, you, myself, and about 500 other people are scratching their heads right now. What is James Ross going to do? Can he stretch his fuel? You never know. You might be putting those peanut M&Ms in the gas tank there. You might can go another 7, 6 laps, but I doubt it. I'm thinking right now he's waiting for the best chance to come down and just get a splash. But that might turn over the lead, like you just said, to Josh Tanner, who almost wrecked his truck. And then the question will be, does his radiator have enough water in it to finish the race?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question too. It was a hard lick into the wall. I'm surprised this truck is still as fast as it is.
I tell you what, sometimes in these races here at Domino's 2i Racing Den Fender Series, live on All Pro Broadcasting again, fans, we do recommend you click the subscribe button. That way you get all the alerts on how to own the free pizza. We'll give you all the updates after the interviews when the race is over. Nobody knows, but right now it looks like James Ross is leading the pack. He is probably hoping that the radiator, the motor, and the number 84 second place machine of Josh Tanner will die. If that happens, James can really save fuel in those last 2 or 3 laps and maybe pull off, what would it be, an 8th win?
I think it would actually be win number 9 on the year. I'm not too sure, but it's going to take 5 or 6 laps to go this time. I believe it's 6 laps to go with the line. So I don't think James can stretch it another 6 laps, but I do believe he's stretching it as far as he can, just so that he can take no tires, no windshield tear off, splash of fuel, and just get back out there as quick as he can, and maybe not hold on to the lead, but maybe hold on to 2nd place.
Well, right now, Curtis and fans, it looks like James Ross is not leaving anything on the table. He is racing this number 51 M&M's truck like we've seen many, many times in the past, as hard as you can race it. He is entering the corners. He is attacking the corners. He's coming off the corners at full song. He is not saving fuel at all. So this begs the question, does he have enough fuel? Or is he just putting up a big show?
I mean, yeah, if he's not saving, I definitely really don't think he has enough, because you just can't go 30 laps without saving, I don't think. But Josh Tanner is only 1.5 seconds back. Actually, we'll see what the gap is this time at the line. It's actually 1.4, so he's catching him by a 10th. If James Ross can stay out on the track, he'll be able to hold on to this if he can just maintain his pace, but I just really don't think it's possible for him to make it to the end on fuel.
Well, right now we do have Gary Sexton in 3rd. He made that early pit stop. Not early, actually a late pit stop by Gary Sexton in that beautiful number 17. He is racing around some of these live traffic. He's trying to gain as many positions, as many seconds as he can, in case the leader does run out of fuel, James Ross, and in case the number 84 of Josh Tanner blows his motor. These races are very serious, especially coming down before the chase. And don't look now, but in 4th position, we got a very, very familiar guy running in 4th in that beautiful Southeast Motorsports Chevrolet Silverado, Jack Watts. I think he's good to go to the end of the race. He might pick up the win here. You never know what's going to happen.
I'm starting to think maybe James Ross can make it. Only 4 laps to go here. Under 4 laps to go. James Ross still out on the track, and he actually stretched the gap last time by, so he either knows that he's going to have to pit, and he's just trying to show Josh Tanner that, you know, I was just as fast as you tonight, or he's good on the fuel and he just doesn't need to save, because you wouldn't gain on somebody if you were having to save fuel. So
let me ask you a question, Curtis. Did you win or lose a race last year at Watkins Glen trying to save fuel? Or both? Did you win one and then lose another one?
Well, I definitely lost one of them, but it wasn't due to fuel strategy. And the other one, yeah, like I said, I just pulled a strategy that not many other people thought of, because they just, I don't know if they didn't know if they didn't want to put in the work to find out if it was possible or what. But I mean, if it's possible to make it 30 laps on fuel, I'm sure the 51 truck of James Ross made sure that he could make it that far before actually trying. But the strategy he's on, I think even if he has to pit, that's the way to go, is to just try and run this fuel cell out, make the shortest pit stop possible, and get back out there. Because before this, I think James was not even running inside the top 5. He was running in maybe 4th to 6th, 30 seconds back, and if he can manage to save fuel and win this one, that'll be, I mean, that'll just be unbelievable.
I tell you what, right now, we got guys trying to get every position they can. Curtis, like we talked about at the beginning of this broadcast, we have got quite only down to what you said, one more race after this one before the chase starts. So even if you're not in the top, 2 or 3 for the win, you're definitely looking to get a good finish here. And that would, go ahead.
I was going to say James Ross has taken 2 laps to go. He just went through the S's. 1.5 laps to go for James Ross, but he has Josh Tanner charging on him. It was 9/10 of a second last time by at the line. So I think Josh Tanner's figured something out. James Ross made a mistake, or James has to save a bit of fuel. Gonna check and see if James is saving fuel here through the carousel this time. That would be the place that you would have to save it. And I think James Ross is sputtering out of gas here. I'm not too sure. That might have just been the way he was playing with the throttle. I think it was, because he's pulling hard off the corner here. And they're coming up on lap traffic. Chad Payne gets well out of the way, into the grass actually, and we'll see if James Ross pits. This is going to tell us if James Ross thinks he can make it to the end. James Ross is going for it. White flag in the air, and Josh Tanner is about 3 truck lengths back. Does James Ross have enough gas in the tank? And does Josh Tanner have enough speed in the truck to make it?
I tell you what, Josh Tanner closed that gap by 4 lengths. He's like 2 lengths behind James Ross. I tell you what, this is the part of the course, Curtis and fans, where you're going up the hill. You're going through the S's, getting ready to go through the bus stop, and if you got gas in the tank, it's going to run out when we come out of turn 13, coming to turn 14, and right now on the bus stops, it looks like we got some serious lap traffic. These guys will stay out of the way. Curtis, I'll let you take us to the end of the race.
And if James Ross can pull this one off, I will be absolutely shocked. Into turn number 7 for the final time. Josh Tanner gonna try and make a move. Gonna drive it in real deep. Can't quite get there. James Ross gets the run off. One more chance for Josh Tanner. Not gonna be quite enough. Does the 51 have enough to make it to the line? Win number 9 on the year. James Ross wins at Watkins Glen. And what a race. James Ross makes it. I absolutely can't believe it. I think he's just going to start doing his burnouts right now because he knows he's not going to make it all the way back around. Second place is Josh Tanner, obviously. Gary Sexton finishes in 3rd. Jack Watts finishes 4th here tonight. Gerald Campbell 5th. Looks like Tyler Chalk finishes in 6th here tonight. I'm just waiting for all these drivers to cross the line to make sure all these results are official. Tyler Chalk does finish 6th. Vernon Margheim 7th. Eric Stanford 8th. David Wright 9th. Ray Richard 10th. Blake Griffith 11th. William Locklear 12th. Mark Jackson 13th. Richard Brose 14th. Ivan Garcia 15th. Chad Payne 16th. Jeff T. Martin finishes 17th here tonight. James Somke 18th. Judd Danielson finishes 19th here tonight. Andrew Kessler 20th. Sean Kalis 21st. Jeremy Crandall 22nd. Gary Weston 23rd. And that's going to round out your finishing order here. And it looks like James Ross is actually getting a push to the start-finish line from the number 17 of Gary Sexton, so that's how close he was on fuel.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, we're going to do a quick interview. Yes, sir. I tell you what, Curtis, sometimes you got to have that going on. You got to get a little bit of push, because he planned that to the end.
Yeah, so not the result Gary Sexton wanted, but
yes, sir. We have Gerald Campbell
to victory lane.
Yes, sir. We got Gerald Campbell finished in 5th position. He started 6th. Gerald, how was your race?
Oh, I'm sweating right now. I'm not a road course racer by no means. In practice, I went behind Andrew and picked up about a second, and then that's about as fast as I could go. It was about a second slower than Andrew and then those leaders. But it was a good race. I just had to keep my nose clean and work the pitch strategy. These stage races, they're kind of exciting. I'd be kind of interested to see how these things work on the oval, to be honest with you.
Yes, sir. We're definitely thinking about that for 2018. And you had a great truck. You've always got a great sponsor. Give us a quick shout out for who makes it happen on your truck tonight.
Yeah, my sponsor's VFW, which is Veterans of Foreign Wars. Always got to thank the vets. No matter what place I finish, no matter what day it is, doesn't matter if it's a holiday or not. If you see a vet, you should always thank them. So I'm looking forward to the next race. It's been a heated battle between me and James here for the points lead for at least this beginning part of the season. I understand it all resets, but I'm still trying to go and at least put a feather in my cap going into the chase if I could be able to come out or go into it with the points lead.
I tell you what, it's always a matter of getting in position for the chase. You know it. You're a smart guy. Obviously, you got a great, smart wife, too. Hope you enjoyed that pizza last week. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Always delicious. Always
yes.
Domino's, always delicious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations, and we'll definitely see you soon.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. I think now Curtis is caught up with our 3rd place finisher. That would be Gary Sexton.
Well, Gary, 3rd place finish here for you tonight. You led some laps, and it just didn't work out for you on that restart. You had to check up quite a bit, and you had the lead, and you came back out behind Josh Tanner, and just wasn't quite close enough to get back up there. How'd your race go overall?
Yeah, up until that point, I was feeling pretty good about it. It was all said and done. That incident on the restart put me about, 13 seconds back on just the first lap alone of Josh. When it's all said and done, do the math, lost by about 7 seconds. I think my strategy would have put me out about a second ahead of these guys, and I'm pretty sure I could have held them off for a few laps. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. You can't be disappointed for finishing 3rd, but I'm just, it's not fun getting run over like that on the start. We all know turn 1's coming up. Like there's really no reason for it. But what are you going to do? That's racing. Overall, the night was pretty good. It was uneventful for the most part. Had a chance to run with my new teammate Blake Griffin. We signed him over to CCR this week. He's a good hard racer, and hated for him. He self-spun a few times, but that's what we do here at CCR. We try to help each other, get better. And with one race left here in the chase, I, rattling off these top 5s and wins. Definitely got the momentum going. I definitely have been working on my oval game. I think I got something for these guys, for Josh and James. I hope so. Hope to at least put a little pressure under them, get them to make some mistakes going forward here in the chase. But overall, good night. Love these road courses. Love the stage racing. Hopefully we do that more going forward. But overall, good race.
All right, Gary, congratulations. Anybody else to thank?
Yeah, tip four. I'd like to thank my my team again: CCR, Will Davis, Joe Johnson, now Blake Griffin, my family, my beautiful wife, my awesome son. He's starting to get an eye for the racing when it's on TV. He's pretty captivated by it. So hopefully he, in a few short years, will be out here on iRacing with me. My brothers, all my family that watches, any of my friends, and All Pro Broadcasting, Michael D'Amico, Domino's, Robert McFarland, you, Curtis, and everyone else that puts this stuff together. It's so much fun.
All right, Gary, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate, and see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Curtis.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I have caught up with the second place finisher, Josh Tanner. We got a lot of questions for you, Josh. The main question is, you had that incident early. I don't know how many laps it was to go, 5, 10, 12. You got loose coming off the corner, hit hard into the inside wall, and you were able to come back and finish second. We were all thinking you might could have won this race if James ran out of fuel. Tell us about that incident and how your race went.
Yeah, I had just pitted. I think I was maybe 1 or 2 laps out of the pits, and I was trying to take it easy. I was catching up to somebody pretty quick, but I didn't want to, just dive bomb him. So I backed up that corner, and I haven't had any problems with getting loose out of that corner. And then that lap, it decided to just snap on me, and I tried my best to keep it out of the wall, but of course went nose first into it, which is about the worst place you can hit it. But it didn't hurt my speed too bad. I didn't have much straightaway speed, but so I had to be careful and not hurt myself too bad coming into a long straightaway. But I was more concerned about my oil temp, so I was watching that pretty close, and it was getting pretty hairy there the last few laps. I'm glad I was just happy to make it all the way around and finish.
Yeah, we were all wondering, when is the engine in the number 84 truck going to expire? Luckily, it did not expire. You came back to a great second place finish. Every time you race here, you got a new sponsor on board tonight. Give us a little bit of information on your new sponsor and who else you want to thank for your second place finish.
Yeah, well, this is was supposed to be my throwback scheme for Darlington, but then I had computer issues and didn't get to make the race, so I decided to run it this week. This is NP3 Designs. Norm Pelletier runs it, who he does all my paint schemes, anything you ever see me run. Norm designed it. He's really good at doing paint schemes, and he did my suit and helmet and everything too. So I highly recommend him. That's NP3 Designs, and you can find him on Facebook.
Cool. Hey, I appreciate you being here every time you're here, and we'd love to see more of your teammates going forward. Congratulations, good luck, and we'll talk to you over the weekend.
All right, thanks, guys.
I think Curtis is now caught up with our unbelievable James Ross. Has won a few races here, but this I gotta say, and Curtis, you'll get all the details. This has got to be one of the most interesting races. Most exciting and most surprising. That's the word. Surprising finishes and wins that James Ross has got. Take it away, Curtis, down there in Victory Circle.
Yeah, for the 9th time this season, James Ross back in victory lane again. James, honestly, at the start of this race, I really didn't think you had it in you for this one, I'll be honest. And I think you were about 10 or 15 seconds back at one point in the first run, and it just seemed like the fast guy like Josh Tanner and Andrew Kessler were driving away from you. But you had something up your sleeve that absolutely probably nobody else thought of, and you pulled it off. How did you manage to get 30 laps out of that thing at the end?
Oh, I didn't. I pitted about 4 laps into that last run and took fuel only. So a lot of guys were wondering how I went so far on fuel. But no, we pitted about 4 laps in. I was sitting back at about 15th, and cars were too wide. There was nowhere to go. So once I knew I could make it, I got to the point where I could make it from. We topped off there and then ran it out, and it ended up being a good move. Put us out in some open space. We made some good time in the middle of the run.
Yeah, okay, that changes things up a bit. I really thought you didn't pit at all. I looked at the lap times, and it looked like everything was good pretty much from the restart, but That was, I mean, I think you had to work for that one a little bit more than a lot of these other ones. What was going through your mind in the closing laps as Josh Tanner was getting to your back bumper closer and closer?
It was real easy. It was fuel management. We picked the lap to pit on, and I should have probably gone one more. So I realized about 10 laps to go, we were real tight on fuel. So I was, letting off a little earlier, letting it roll, clutching it a little bit, and all the same time I was watching Josh and where he was after he had his first spin there. I was just trying to maintain the gap around a second to a second and a half, and then towards the end I still had a save, and he was coming quick. So I'm glad it ended on that lap.
All right, James. Well, again, congratulations on your 9th win of the season. Who would you like to thank?
Oh my goodness! Well, first off, I got to thank you guys at All Pro Broadcasting, the job you do every week. Domino's TYJ Racing, Dennet Fender League, great show every week. Very entertaining for the fans and enjoyable to race. I got to thank my teammates at Aegis. So I got to thank Dave, Andy Kessler, Gia Bramanti, although he's not here right now. A whole bunch of other guys behind the scenes. Thank my spotter, Mike Arditi. We also want to thank my wife, Leslie, my kids, Jimmy and Brooke, for allowing me to do this every so often, getting here and having a bit of fun.
All right, James. Well, we'll let you go and see you next week maybe for the Rockingham non-points race, and definitely the week after that for the final points race of the before the chase, I should say, on the 2017 Dennet Fender season, and congratulations.
Absolutely, and just one thing, Kurt. I think I tied your record tonight, didn't I?
Yeah, but there's more races in this season. There was only 13 races in last season, so.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's a record, right? So.
Yeah,
no,
it is a record. So
I'm happy to tie with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, James. Yes, sir, James and Curtis. The goal now, James, is to beat that record. We're going to be pulling for you, and obviously you're going to be promoted out of the Truck Series for 2018. If I haven't told you that yet, I'm telling you that now.
He has to win if that has to be the rule, or thought that was the rule anyway. Anyway, James, congratulations. We'll let you go on this one, and hell of a run tonight.
Thank you. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, Curtis, this is a great race. And on that note, Sylvia Franklin from Nashville, Tennessee, picked James Ross to win all the way back at 9:03 p.m. Might have been 9:05, something like that. She obviously knows that James is one of the fast racers, so she and her family will enjoy that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. Curtis, what are your last thoughts on the race tonight?
Just a unique race here for our series. We don't usually manipulate any sort of iRacing flags at all, but for the road courses, we all know that iRacing doesn't really have it exactly how NASCAR has it, where the yellow flag flies, the track gets blocked or something. So we decided to do something a little different, have stage cautions on lap 15, just like NASCAR does, since there's absolutely no yellows that can happen. So that makes things a little bit interesting when the road course races are this long and you do have cautions. Usually it's just a full-out endurance race, and this breaks it back up a little bit more like oval track, where you have cautions where the pace car actually comes out. So yeah, it's just interesting race, and I was honestly surprised to see James Ross come out on top of this one.
Yes, it was very exciting, and fans, that's exactly why. Second reason, you want to watch what we're doing here on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you are subscribed to All Pro Broadcasting. Click that button, that way you get all the alerts to win the free pizza, just like Sylvia Franklin from Nashville, Tennessee did tonight. Last week we had Erica Estep. She won the free pizza for her third time. And yes, she is the wife or fiance of Gerald Campbell. We do allow that. If you are the wife or fiance of a driver in the series, we do allow you to win the free pizza, but not the driver themselves. So for Curtis Young, all shout outs to the 2016 reigning Denton Fender Truck Series champion. Thank you, Curtis, for being here. Michael D'Amico, unbelievable camera angles, fans. I know you're witnessing some things you've never ever seen watching simulated racing, so we thank Michael D'Amico. I am Robert McFarland with Domino's TYJ Racing. Tune in tomorrow night. You do not want to miss. We're going to the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway in the Xfinity cars, and yes, Curtis will be behind the wheel, and he will probably pull off the victory if he does not get caught up in somebody else's incidents. So thanks, fans. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great one.
'Cause on that day